I mean, there is a possibility that aliens land on the planet tomorrow and take over. There's a possibility we get hit by a meteor, but it's not probable. In fact, it's very, very, very low probability. And this goes back to the Armageddon portfolio. You can't invest for things that are possible. You have to invest for probabilities. I know what we tell them. I mean, we tell them very specifically that, there's probabilities and there's possibilities, and we invest for probabilities. It doesn't have to be, 100% probability or 90% probability, but, I typically throw out something like, there is a possibility that aliens land on the planet tomorrow and take over. There's a possibility we get hit by a meteor, but it's not probable. In fact, it's very, very, very low probability. And this goes back to the Armageddon portfolio. You can't invest for things that are possible. You have to invest for probabilities. So that kind of typically answers a lot of the, well, what if this happens? Because it could. It absolutely could. And
spoken like a math guy.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. It's just not likely.
Well, that's kind of like what you said too before with the Armageddon scenario is if that extreme low, almost impossible thing happened, the last thing you're going to worry about is what your Schwab account's doing or your portfolio is doing. We're going to have a lot bigger problems in this world if that's the case than just, how much money do I have left, and can you even spend it or get to it if that was the case? And so those are so low and so far out there that it goes to, it's just not likely. And there's the bigger issues at that point. And then goes back to what you talked about too with your Armageddon portfolio. I mean, if you're investing for that, then you're not truly investing. You're building a protection around something that eventually when interest rates go, our inflation is high as like it is, sitting in cash loses money too. Right. And so it's one of those things,
especially this year.
Yeah. 8%. So
yeah.
Yeah. And I think we had one of those recently with, a little bit closer to home that obviously had a little bit more legs to it with Russia and Ukraine. And, right away, is this going to be World War III? Is, the world going to destroy itself? I just think we often take our possibilities, the possibilities seem more like probabilities, and the probabilities, we don't take serious enough and seem like possibilities, kind of like the market. And we've seen all the data and the direction that it probably will go, but then people will be concerned about losing all their money. But then the things that are possible, we put a lot of weight into. So it's definitely something we talk to clients about.
I can remember vividly a conversation that I had with a client when she was, almost visibly fearful, of this is when Russia first went into Ukraine, and what if? I think we all had that kind of fear in the back of our head.
Sure.
And it's still there because they're still at war. And so the conversation that we were having, obviously we can't measure out the probability of things, escalating, but really how much of a financial impact is that on us? And she said, I think we should sell everything because of the threat of war, or because Russia is now in Ukraine. I said, well, let's back up from this minute and take a look at the investments and see what we're in. And I said, let me kind of explain this in a way that I think we all can understand. And I know a way that you can understand too. So we're not analyzing specific stocks. I said, let's look at it this way. I said, I want you to pull up your credit card statement from last month. This is the month prior to Russia going into Ukraine. And so she runs everything through the same card. She was looking at, everywhere she shopped, the bills that she has on auto pay, everything from her phone bill, Costco, Starbucks, gasoline, everything that she was paying for. And I said, okay, now I said, let's wait. Let's check back in 30 days. So now that Russia has been in Ukraine for a month at the time of this conversation, I said, now I want you to pull up your most recent statement. I go, tell me everything that you canceled. She's like, well, I didn't change anything with my spending. I said, that's exactly my point. I said, the companies that you own inside of your portfolio are benefiting from that spending. I said, as terrible as it is on a human level, on a humanitarian level, and what's going on in Eastern Europe, the lines at Costco here have not changed. And that's where I think she got it. Even though the current price on what someone else might pay for that stock at this exact same second is going to fluctuate just with general global fear, the earnings of these companies and stuff that we spend money on, not a lot has to happen for this system to keep working. Really the way that I kind of explain to folks is that as long as a good portion of this population goes to work, there's really only 5 things that they can put their money in when they earn money. If they don't want to spend their entire paycheck the day that they get it, and they want to save it for tomorrow, next year, retirement, whatever, they've got like 5 things. They can keep it in cash, they can put it in gold, precious, buy real estate, stocks, bonds. That's pretty much it. And so as long as people are going to need to hoard money for the future, they've got
Crypto.
basically 5 options. Crypto and paintings and things like that will make up a small percentage.
We're not getting into crypto.
But the majority of they don't have that.
Maybe next call.
Next
don't have
call.
many
Need a lot of
options.
time.
And as long as people want to go to work, they want to eat, they want shelter, they want to make lives for their children, a better life for their children, they want to travel, they want nice things, they're going to go to work and they're going to need somewhere to put that money. And so at the end of the day, if Costco, if I already mentioned that, is down at the moment, how many of our clients really believe that Costco may not survive Christmas? But that's the way that we're talking right now. And that's the way those conversations are, is it's very difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
When you see that same panic in, the recent movement in Walmart and Target the last couple of days with, their earnings and how, 25% down for Walmart in a day, it's like, I'm pretty sure Walmart's not going anywhere. Right. But that fear and that rationale and it impacts and people react. And that's what we see with the depression in the prices. But kind of like you said, that's not the Armageddon scenario that's likely.